I understand this is a split national call. Dr. Shane Reti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ngā mihi kia koe. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to talk to the Prime Minister's statement, and to especially talk about smart business, working with a smart government to provide a better quality of life for New Zealanders. See, the formula is simple, Mr. Speaker. Smart business and smart government brings economic development, that brings real jobs, and real jobs give New Zealanders options. And Mr. Speaker, that's what New Zealanders voted for. Mr. Speaker, a few weeks ago in Kerikeri, the Northland Regional Growth Strategy was released, a bottom-up collaboration with stakeholders that gives real direction. And by real direction, I mean smart direction to the region. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, let's take an example from the growth strategy. Let's look at aquaculture in Northland. Northland has maybe 10% of the coastline, maybe a bit more. And aquaculture in Northland is a nascent industry. It's still in its early stages. It's got a lot of potential. It's done the teething time, but it hasn't actually reached that full potential. Now, the players in the Northland aquaculture industry, widespread across the region. We have the kingfish, we have the finfish people at Ruakaka. I'll actually come back to them. The oyster industry is well developed. Parua Bay, the Otamatia River in Kaipara, Waikare, Te Puna, Kerikeri, Haupurua, Whangaroa, Rangiru, Hauhora, Paringaringa in the Hokianga. Paua, who'd have known, 11 tonne of paua coming out of Ruakaka. And the mussel industry, also well developed, Hauhora and Whangaroa. A well-developed, well-spread across the Northland area. And what this government is doing, what they're saying, Mr. Speaker, is that where's our bang for our buck? We could actually spread it across everywhere, but where are we going to get the most gain? Well, it turns out, Mr. Speaker, the most gains are with finfish and oysters. And it doesn't mean we're going to ignore the other parts of the industry. Mussel farmers, for example, have the 70-hectare oyster farm mussel farm in Stevenson Island in the Whangaroa. So we're not forgetting the other areas, but finfish and oysters are our strategic direction. Mr. Speaker, with a clear direction like that, it gives clarity and stability for investors in the industry. Let's drill down onto that a little bit more. Let's get into some details, make it a bit real. What does it mean to prioritise finfish in Northland? Well, Mr. Speaker, this is a $14 million, $150 job opportunity, and it's an excellent example of central government working with local government. You see, we have 4 key stakeholders. We have NIWA, we have MPI, we have Northland Inc., the economic development arm of the Far North District Council and Whangarei District Council, and local iwi, Ngāti Wai. Now, NIWA did the initial work on finfish in sea cages and land tanks. And when the King Salmon decision came out last year challenging sea-based farming, NIWA was simply able to redirect their model to the land-based farming that they were already doing. That's smart, Mr. Speaker. That's smart. We were able to keep the momentum going and use these 500-tonne land-based cages that we've been working on. Mr. Speaker, another feature of the regional growth strategy that this government has and continues to enable is roading in Northland, and I want to talk to that for a moment. You see, we get that roading matters. Furthermore, we don't just want to talk about it, we actually want to put it into action. The Pūhoi to Wellsford Road of national significance is important to Northland and important to this government and will be put into action. You know, between 10,000 and 20,000 vehicles use State Highway 1 near Whangarei every single day. The volume of freight to and from Northland has gone up by 5 million tonnes between 2007 and 2012. That's freight growth of 6.6% per annum. So, Mr. Speaker, the road of national significance to Northland will benefit many Northlanders in a myriad of ways. First of all, there'll be the manufacture and maintenance, tourism, and then we'll be closer to Auckland, the economic powerhouse. So, Mr. Speaker, in summary, the Prime Minister's statement is good for Northland, good for New Zealanders, and I commend it to the House. Thank you.